Hi everyone, this is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets. These are the new AirPods Pro. I'm going to compare these to the Sony WF-1000XM3s, also to the original AirPods, and then finally we'll talk about what these actually sound like. But I'm going to go through all the different categories that you need to talk about when you're reviewing Bluetooth wireless headphones. Let's go check them out. So if we open the box of the AirPods Pro, you get the different size earbuds, ear tips in there. You get this lightning cable, but here's another one just to show you. It's USB-C, not A, to lightning. So you will need either a special plug or an adapter to go into USB-A, and that might annoy some people who don't have the very latest gears. But if you've got a MacBook Pro, guess what? It's got USB-C connections on the side. That is probably why they've done it. But when you look at the case, this is wireless, Qi wireless compatible, so you may never need to use the actual case. So when you first use these, it all happens automatically. You simply open the case like so, and they pop up. And here you can see the actual case, batteries, and the battery levels. It is that simple. What you can do, and I do recommend it, is they're not connected because they're not in my ears at the moment. So let's just put these in my ears. So, and these are now in my ears. So if I go here, you've got access to the noise cancellation options. You don't get this with the Beats Solo Pro, by the way. And then on the left and right side of the press and hold, you can actually change what you actually get on each side. These are some of the options that you have. There is the ear fit test. So when they're in your ears, let's just do it. This plays music. And you can see it's quite quick, and it just says good seal. Now these are the tips that came with it, the medium size, so that worked really well. And then it's also got down here at the bottom, automatically transfer the audio route from connected devices, the AirPods, when they are placed in your ears. So very, very, very straightforward. What you can also do, very similar to the other devices, if you wanted to select some of the options, you can from here, and you can share the audio. You can press and hold, and you have the access to transparency. But let me just show you what else you can do. Well, you actually don't need to press and hold to do anything. So I will play some music through my ears. Now I'm going to turn volume down so I can hear you. So what I'm going to do is say, hey Siri, turn volume up. So now the volume on my music's higher. Obviously, if this was in your pocket, you wouldn't even see the screen because this would come through your headphones, but the AirPods. Sorry, but if the phone was in your pocket, the sound would just be working the Hey Siri straight from the AirPods Pro. So just stop that doing that. So let's do another one. Hey Siri, noise cancellation off. So as you can see, you can use, take this out of my ears so I can hear you properly. You can actually use Siri to adjust the noise cancellation, transparency, and that sort of stuff. So what you really want to know is, how do these compare to stuff like original AirPods? Well, these do sound better. They've got noise cancellation. So if you're commuting on trains, that sort of stuff, you definitely want to have these on, because you just won't be able to get enough. Well, these will be too loud in your ears, and you'll have all the noise of the trains, planes, background noise around you. If you have a look at one of these versus one of these, you can see that they are very different in size. The case actually isn't particularly that much different when you look at these, because if you turn it around that way, you can see overall there's not much in it. This case is slightly bigger, but it's pretty amazing to think they've got everything into a very tight, compact case, especially when you compare it to these, which are the Sony, and the case is enormous, both from every angle, depth, width, height. The Sonys are massive, and if you look at one of these, we take one of these out, and you compare it to one of these, the whole shooting match is completely dwarfs, the Sony dwarfs the Apple one. So I think Apple have done a marvellous job from that perspective. But really, when it comes to noise cancelling, the Sony are the champs. These WF-1000XM3s, they are the leaders. And which sound best, and what have I discovered? Well, first of all, connection, USB-C, Lightning. These have wireless, these don't. Sony don't have a wireless charging case. They both have decent run times in terms of duration. The Sony are, I think 'cause they're bigger, they can be not as comfortable to wear. They are comfortable, they're not as comfortable. The AirPods are extremely comfortable to wear. In terms of connection, the AirPods have the edge. They can go for longer distances, and they hold the connection absolutely superb. Noise cancellation, this is where it gets a bit subjective. The Sony probably have the edge. They have an app, a companion app that has far more control over the noise cancellation. But when it comes to wind, like wind blowing, because it's outside a windy environment, the Sony will pick up and give you some of that wind through the earphones. What I noticed with the AirPods is that they started to adjust the automatic noise cancellation and actually cut that wind, heavy wind blowing over. So actually I'm going to give the slight edge to these in practical use, because I think it did actually pay off. They do cancel out most noise. You won't hear much that's going on, so that's pretty good. But they're not going to be as good as something like these, which are the Dali IO6 for noise cancellation, because bigger cups just by themselves covering a whole ear, that has passive noise cancellation before you even turn on the active noise cancellation. Sound quality, this is another interesting one. The Sonys probably pip it overall on the actual sound quality. They have the companion app where you can adjust the EQ, you can add in extra bass, and it works very well. But actually, this is just a no-nonsense. If you've got an Apple device, it's a very tough one. I actually would go with the AirPods, because I think they're from a portability point of view, they are nice and easy to carry around, and connection-wise, they're rock solid. Comes to actually voice calls, again, really rock solid. These have slight edge, but again, they, when it works with an Apple device, they are really well designed. But these, you can use these because the companion app works on Android and iOS on a multiple of different devices with no problem at all. Both are firmware upgradable. And there you have it. I mean, you couldn't go wrong with either of these, but personally, I think just because of the size, so compact, and I have used these for quite some time now. I didn't rush my review. I'm still going over the AirPods, and there you go. Any questions, I'll answer them below in the questions. Cheers. I'm back. There's a couple of bits that I wanted to add, which I didn't put in. So I want to ask me in the questions, how do these sound compared to the AirPods Pro sound to the original AirPods? Just to refresh that, I do like the original AirPods because you can hear everything around you in safety, but it's not good when you're in a really noisy environment, because you might lift the volume up and damage your ears by having the original AirPods too high. Huawei Freebuds 3, someone also asked about that. I've got to tell you that just by the nature of the design, that the AirPods Pro have silicone tips that pop into your ears, that is better isolation. That means the sound is better, and also you get more noise cancellation. It's just the sheer shape. It's like when you have over-ear headphones, they're going to offer better noise cancellation, because even without the noise cancellation on, just having stuff over your ears gives an element of passive control. So any other questions, just ask below. You want some answers re other earphones, headphones, just ask below. And if I know the answer, I'll let you know. Anyway.